I got to bag it up. Bag it up, baby.
Iran's our new friend, right?
Right.
Wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
Today, while the country celebrated the 37th anniversary of Islamic Revolution, the chants were still loud and clear. Death to America, death to Israel. So anti-American sentiment hasn't waned since the nuke deal. But according to our administration, the country is showing us kindness now. Remember? It freed our sailors and treated them so well.
I'm appreciative for the quick and appropriate response of the Iranian authorities. All indications suggest or tell us that our sailors were well taken care of.
Continuing their propaganda stunt, Iran released new footage of yesterday's sailors in tears. Some Republican presidential candidates are irate.
This is a signal around the world that we're not serious anymore, that we're not going to stand up for our values or stand up for our people. And the next president of the United States needs to restore the sense that there's severe consequences for capturing American sailors.
It is disgraceful and it defies words. Only Barack Obama and John Kerry would thank Iran for capturing and trying to humiliate American sailors. That image of our sailors on their knees will come to encapsulate the failures of the Obama-Clinton foreign policy. It is the direct result of weakness.
Eric Bolling, I think if President Obama was president in the 1930s, he'd probably thank the Japanese for bombing Pearl Harbor. What do you think?
Should I agree with that or not?
Yeah.
And don't forget, this is a regime we just handed, or we're in the process of handing over $100 billion of money that they say is theirs. I say that we should never have done that. We should never have done this deal. And for them to recreate the capture of our sailors and like hold the guns to their heads. Look, the reason why they're doing it is because they can, and they've done it, and they continue to do it, and they continue to do it more. Most people who would be afraid of the United States retaliation wouldn't do that. Remember when Ronald Reagan got into office, and all of a sudden 2 days later, all the hostages were released from Iran? Well, they didn't want to deal with Ronald Reagan. They don't mind dealing with Barack Obama because frankly, they're not afraid he probably won't do anything. And when John Kerry says, thank you very much for giving our soldiers, our sailors back, it's crazy.
Why doesn't President Obama project American power, Kimberly?
He doesn't have it in him.
The Chinese hack us, we do nothing. ISIS runs wild, we do nothing, we take it easy on them. The Iranians spit in our face, Obama's golfing. Why isn't he showing any anger?
Soft like brie cheese, which is tasty. Don't get, I don't know about him, but that's how he is. My point is that he doesn't have it in him. This is not a tough guy. This is someone that wants to speak in like glowing, flowing terms and talk about this as like one world together. He's not into American exceptionalism. It's contrary to his view. He's more interested in getting aggressive about global warming and climate change. That's where he is. This is a man that has unfortunately allowed this country and our military, to be humiliated, and has stood by and allowed Christians to be beheaded, and look at the Yazidis. I mean, where is this like forceful, strong leader that is well respected in the United States that we are accustomed to as a country, like someone like we were talking about, like Ronald Reagan?
Kimberly, Powers, you're a Democrat. You can't defend this guy. I mean, this is an embarrassment as an American.
I could defend him on plenty of things, but not on this. But to be fair, John Kerry did come out and say he was furious after when they did this reenactment.
Oh, Kerry's furious.
The question is,
he's going to sail over there.
But they should have been furious in the first place. It is more infuriating now, but it was infuriating when it first happened, and it was a humiliation. There's no getting around that. So I think, I personally never thought because we did a deal with them that they were going to start behaving well. That wasn't, I don't think that's a real expectation. I think you do deals with your enemies. That's the whole point. But this is a really, this is something that I agree. He should be angry, and it's one of his failings is that when things happen that make most Americans angry, that he's just very cool.
This doesn't really smell right to me. You have the president getting, embarrassed all over by these Muslim countries. He's giving these Muslim countries billions of dollars. He's apologizing to the Muslim world, and he's bringing up the Crusades all the time. Something's fishy about this guy.
Also, something strange about that video. So if our soldier is crying, or our sailor is crying, so what was making him cry? That's what I'd want to know.
propaganda. They probably gave him onions or something like that.
The other thing is, I think if I could put President Obama on the psychiatrist's couch for a moment, I think that he thinks of this as just a blip on the radar screen. It's a comma in the history books, whereas he wants to be a transformational president. He's thinking of his legacy, that he's reshaped the Middle East, he's changed American foreign policy. There's a genocide in Syria, but he's changed American foreign policy, leading from behind is the new way to go. So I think what's happened is he strengthened the hardliners. He gave away our leverage, including the money. So now they get to run roughshod over.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean,
Peace
if you're
Prize
going to
went
punish
right
me
to
like
his
that, bring it on. $100 billion and let me do whatever I want. I can develop nukes. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, we should tie up some Iranians and, maybe get a little payback. Next, who does Bernie...